Today, though, after time qualifying, we've got another smattering of qualifying heats. And then, of course, the three finals at the end of today. It's another full day of point scoring opportunities, and it kickstarts with the OKN Junior. All you need to think about is going forward. And for Enea Pizzuto, this weekend, that is most likely going to happen. Let's take you through then the full starting lineup as the engines fire up. It's Enea Pizzuto on the front row, and in her first pole position start of the season, Leonard Peruzzi starting alongside on the front row. Pole sitter from yesterday, Anna Gnostiidis, starts on row 2. Will be joined by Victoria Farfus alongside on P4. Angelina Simmons and Jan Mikuleshko round out row number 3. They'll have William Marshall and Ella Hakkinen on row 4. Connor Clancy and Axel Nocom round out row 5 and the top 10. They'll have Casper Reipold and Isaac Say on row 6. Kees Aziza and Dinia Islamov round out row 7. They'll have Sofia Pavansniaya and Flavio Cadia on row 8 with Vanessa Shilkanate and Egon Prodotti on row 9. Oscar Gallin and Toby Gale round out the top 20 on row 10 with Matthias Witwer and Marcel Capella on row 11. Remember, Witwer, the winner from the final yesterday. Karine Kaur and Amria Adrinson round out row 12. Then it's Konstantin Paps and Sara Matsui on row 13. Clelia Sodu and Nilas Malik round out row 14 with Sanjana Dandu and Michaela Hart rounding out the top 30 on row 15. Vida Yulan and Xavier Dukovsky on row 16 with Sujana Dandu and Emilia Vishamirska. Then it's Zachariah Dole and Christian Ebras who round out the top 36 drivers on the field. There is our race director, Martin Bean, sending the drivers round once more for their formation start. There you can see the mechanics stand filling up with mechanics getting ready to guide their pilots through their first race of today. This will be their third qualifying heat of the weekend. There is a live feed from Race Control. Head of Race Control, Joanna Falcao, joined by Sara Blanco as well. Both of them keeping a very close eye on the drivers and in constant communication with our race director, Martin Bean, with a smattering of 34 cameras on circuit. This is a false start. They are going round again. The back of the field not formed up at all as they make their way back in towards turn number 1. So again, our first false start of the weekend. It was a very busy day yesterday. I've got to say there was an extra driver's briefing this morning, a mandatory one for the field yesterday after only 9 races that we had played. I think there were 3 red flags yesterday. There were 3 slow procedures. And, of course, there was a bit of a morning briefing this morning saying to the drivers, right, yesterday was a bit frantic. Today, let's calm it down a little bit. Enjoy the racing, but let's not have it too busy like it was yesterday. Hopefully, that sunk in to the drivers, but we'll have to wait and see. You know, it's like telling a racing driver to slow down. That's never going to happen, is it? They're always going to go as fast as they possibly can. And, well, completely understandably. They cross the red line from here on out. No overtaking is permitted. They're allowed to line up alongside their co-compatriot for the start procedure for this one. But other than that, there is no overtaking permitted to get back into your original starting spot. This looks a little bit better at the front. Back of the grid needs to sort it out a little bit, tighten it up, but it looks good, and we are green and racing for the first time today, and it's a great start for Pizzuto. Holds on to the lead and has great pace going in towards turn 2. Those nerves seem to have disappeared immediately as she holds on to the race lead on this one. Down into the inside, but it's all kicked off in the background here. Michaela Hart is one of them. The 24 as well of Sara Matsui is involved there as well. Who else is there? I think maybe Isaac Say could be one. And Dinia Islamov, another. The 4 drivers off at the front of the field there. And that all started with Isaac Say and Dinia Islamov. They were next to each other on track, and unfortunately, for Sara Matsui and Michaela Hart, they just got caught up in someone else's incident. Race continuing. Green flag still out for the rest of the circuit as we see side-by-side action in the background there. Casper Reipold getting squeezed right to the outside. As you can see, the top 2 are breaking away here. Pizzuto and Gnostiidis looking very strong as we see the drivers who have retired from this race accumulating in Marshall Post 2. Well, the race going on, and look at this here. Enea Pizzuto controlling this race right now, breaking away with James Anagnostiidis. Now, Anagnostiidis, pole sitter yesterday, didn't win the final yesterday after starting on pole. It was a perfect day up until that final. It was pole position in time qualifying, 2 qualifying heat wins. Yeah, like you say, I think maybe used those Vega tyres just that little bit too much as he dives to the inside now and retakes the lead here and moves up into P1. And Pizzuto can now just sit behind Anagnostiadis and not have to worry about anything else. This is where it becomes a little bit more interesting because Pizzuto is finding herself in a position here that I don't think she's found herself in many races right now. Like you said, it was her first pole position. We spoke to her, she said she was really nervous, but those nerves have gone away right now. She can just focus on the battle ahead. The battle behind, however, is certainly heating up as everyone fighting for position here. I can see William Marshall in the foreground there. You've got Victoria Fastfuss battling away. She's just been overtaken now by Marshall. Marshall getting through. Kaisa Ziza, Pavasnaya's there as well, as there are more drivers off the circuit there, and that looks to me like that could be Ella Hakkinen, the driver of the number 25, unfortunately retiring from this race. She had a good day yesterday. Today, though, not starting her way. Well, look at this one. Jan Michalescu here is closing in, the driver in third place in the number 42 after suffering a broken arm in the first round at Cremona. Missing out at Valencia, is back here at Franciacorta and, well, seems to be looking very strong here on day 2 of the racing. They're in third place and latching on to the back of these two here. We've got a 3-kart breakaway now for the race lead. Looking down the inside there was Michalescu not able to get the move done. Now drops back just that little bit. Pizzuto holding strong in second place. This is a very, very competitive drive that we're seeing so far. Let's have a look at the replay there. What happened to, was this the Ella Hakkinen moment? Yes, it was. Unsure there if there was any contact, but yeah, just into the braking zone of turn number 5. Judging by that reaction there, I think, yeah, may have been assisted off the circuit a little bit, but we couldn't quite see from our camera position. Right, back with the racing here. No change between the top 3, staying line astern. And again, I think this is understandable. I don't think we'll see much from this. Of course, they're in a good position right now. For 2 of these 3 drivers, these will be the best positions they'll have gained so far this weekend. For Jan Michalescu, he had up and down results yesterday. For Enea Pizzuto again as well, also up and down results. Had a best final finish yesterday for Enea Pizzuto. But for James Anagnostiadis, he's used to being in this position in the qualifying heats phase of the weekend, as he just is, controlling his own race at the moment. Angelina Simmons has got up into P4 now as well, a gain of 1 place. Kasper Reipold just behind after gaining 6 places is up into P5. Marshall now into 6th place as Kaisa Ziza's up 6 places into P7. Victoria Fastfuss in 8th place currently at the moment. And then Pavasnaya, Gale and Clancy have all just got past Vanessa Schilkinates on that last lap. However, all of them are still up positions other than Connor Clancy. He's down 2 positions at the moment, but still in a very strong spot. Eyes on this one here. Could we see a change in the top 3? The answer to that is yes. Down the inside, Michalescu goes through and into 2nd place. Pizzuto doesn't fight it. And again, this is still in a strong position here. A top 3 have got a considerable gap from the rest of the field. There are some 2 seconds clear from Angelina Simmons, and immediately we're going to see a change for the lead. Anagnostiadis getting pipped out of the way there, and Michalescu going to the top. Like I say, missing out on Valencia and the 2nd final in Cremona. Michalescu certainly on the back foot in terms of the championship standings, but today this will certainly help him out if he can get away with maximum championship points in the qualifying heats phase. 25 championship points will certainly help out his fight, but he's going to have to work a little bit harder here as down the inside goes Anagnostiadis, and Pizzuto follows as well, back into 2nd place. And just as they were in their original positions, they're back there once again. We go on to the final lap of this race, and Anagnostiadis is controlling it. Pizzuto there in 2nd. Michalescu in 3rd. Simmons is still in P4 from Reipold, Marshall and Aziza. Fastfuss into 8th. Clancy and Gale still rounding out the top 10 from the rest of the field. But eyes are focused on these top 3, who at the moment are still clear, but now the gap's down to just 1 second. any more squabbling between these three, they might find themselves in a bit of bother from the likes of Angelina Simmons and Casper Reipold just behind. In towards turn 13, they head down the back straight now, in towards turn 14, and again, Pizzuto's going to look to the inside, but Anagnostiadis closes the door. Pizzuto runs slightly wide now, goes wheel to wheel with Michalesko, but they'll have the inside line, and across the line, it will be Anagnostiadis, the pole sitter from yesterday, now, after not getting a pole today, but takes the first qualifying heat win ahead of Enea Pizzuto. A fabulous result, and a thumbs up there for Enea Pizzuto, just to say, well done, congratulations. And I think a thumbs up there to Enea Pizzuto, a fabulous qualifying heat, despite those nerves kicking in, coming away with a P2 finish. Michalesko then finishing in P3 ahead of Angelina Simmons. Reipold finishing in P5 ahead of William Marshall. Kees Aziza from Victoria Farfus, who finishes in P8. Didn't have the best race in that one, dropping down, but still a good result. She was plagued yesterday with penalties in her races. One of them no fault of her own when she was pushed over the white line on the pit exit. And unfortunately, that resulted in a disqualification.
That was number 14 that makes contact with the rear of the car that went into the barrier.
Well, confirmation there. Victoria Farfus, I think, getting caught out in an incident, and unfortunately, she has dropped down the order. And right, well, let's see what we can do for this one. Well, there we go. James Anagnostiadis taking the win ahead of Enea Pizzuto. Jan Michalesko from Angelina Simmons. Casper Reipold from William Marshall. Kees Aziza from Victoria Farfus. Connor Clancy from Toby Gale. Sofia Paznaya as well, finishing in 11th place. Egon Prodotti from Vanessa Schilkenate. Matthias Witwer from Flavio Calia. Linus Peruzzi from Nilas Malik. Oscar Gallin from Axel Nocom. Amadou Adriansen from Marcel Capella. Then it's Emilia Wisomierska and Savria Dudkovsky. Sanjana Dandu and Sujana Dandu round out the top 25 ahead of Christian Ebras